And another GTA roller girl, one of the co-hosts of tonight's Clam Slam, number X3. It's Commander Box, better known as Brickhouse Bordeaux. And last but not least, from Toronto Roller Derby, number K1, Heavy Petter. On the bench for the bench staff. On the bench for Team Uhaul is Tits McGee and Roxy Lichter, better known as Juggernaut J and Honey Boom Boom of Toronto Roller Derby. So that is your roster for Team Uhaul, this 2014 Clam Slam. I guess we should give a warning that some of these names are not safe for work. If you happen to be at work on a Thursday night, 6:30, you could be.
It may depend on what your job is.
That's right.
But we're going to be having our national anthems performed. Jack Salotopoulos will be performing the Star Spangled Banner, as we do have American skaters in the house this evening.
That was Jack Salotopoulos with the American National Anthem, now with the Canadian National Anthem, Gweilo Fo Show. Once again, that was Gweilo Fo Show, multi-talented referee, singer with the Canadian National Anthem. Welcome back, everyone, to Ted Reeve Arena in the 6th annual Clam Slam. The first time, though, that it's been part of the World Pride. Toronto, the city of Toronto, known for one of the biggest, most exciting Pride celebrations in North America. In the best of years, even bigger and better this year, with the whole world the whole world's eyes trained on Toronto this weekend.
That's right, and for the second year in a row, Toronto Roller Derby has partnered with the GTA Roller Girls to put on Clam Slam. Once again, we are here at Ted Reeve Arena, which is GTA Roller Girls' home arena. And it's an interesting partnership. We don't do a lot between the two leagues, but it's great that everybody comes together to make this happen. Just to quickly run down to this first bout here between Team Uhaul and Team Plaid Mafia. This will be 2 20-minute halves as opposed to 2 30s. We have 2 20-minute halves, and in this game, both teams have 16 skaters on the bench. But aside from that, there are no other changes to the way the rules are being called.
That's right, and we are now underway, the first jam of this first game of the 6th annual Clam Slam, and it is for Team Uhaul. That is number 9mm from the Hammer City Roller Girls, M.I. Gay. Sleeper hold number 213, having a hard time with Smashin Good Time, another Hammer City skater, and the first lead jammer of the game goes to Team Uhaul.
Yep, both teams just trying to get their footing. There's just trying to pick up the pace a little bit. Of course, this is a game played for funsies, so I don't expect we're going to see incredible displays of aggressiveness, but hey, you never know.
What you probably will see, though, is a lot of speed, hopefully a lot of technique as these teams get to know each other as this game goes on. These are skaters made up of skaters from 13 different leagues in Ontario and Quebec. It's an all-queer, all-star game, and so it's going to take a little while for these skaters to get to know themselves. This is also apparently the beginner-level game, but there is a lot of experience on that track, including Beaver Mansbridge, the lead jammer, second in a row for Team White. Sorry, she's skating as Vagina Dentata tonight.
She is, and Vigilante skating in for Team Plaid Mafia is the other jammer right now. She, of course, is Wachter, also from Toronto Roller Derby, so they've come head-to-head on the track before and will again.
Uhaul, team in the white, out to a quick lead now, 7-0 to get things started here. Or sorry, 5-0. Now on the jam line, Exterminator skates out of Peterborough, Ontario and Durham region up against Heavy Petter, skates out of Toronto Roller Derby for Toronto's Chicks Ahoy.
I'm seeing a theme already with the jammer matchups because, of course, Heavy Petter skates as Heavy Knitter with the Chicks Ahoy. So we've got a couple of knitters out there. Previous one, we had Vigilante and Vagina Dentata. So we have our first penalty of the bout, and that is Exterminator being sent to the box for a forearm. The penalty box here at Ted Reeve Arena is over by turn 1, 2, 3. So it's now a power jam for Team Uhaul.
Heavy Petter getting hit hard by Tits, and drawn out to the back of the pack. She has not gotten through in her first pass, just did so. Lead jammer once again, third in a row now going for Uhaul. Just 2.5 minutes into this opening half. Exterminator in the penalty box. She's known as primarily as a blocker, but does have the stability and the speed on the skates to be a jammer, but she's sometimes got over-aggressive coming up onto those walls. Now that time she does break through cleanly, though, but already Heavy Petter has picked up 5 points.
Yeah, the power jam is over, but she is still in control of it. Cunning Linguist from GTAR has just been sent off for a failure to reform.
So very briefly, we had a massive pack advantage, 4-2 advantage. Now it's going to be 4-3 to start this jam. Looks like Smashin Good Time on the jam line from the Hammer City Roller Girls against... Who is that for the Plaid Mafia? It's going to take the announcers a moment, too, to...
yeah, we're also finding our footing here.
We're looking straight down at the pack.
And we've also got people with different numbers, different names than we're used to. So, again, this is for funsies.
Jammers are off. Smashin Good Time going out and then cutting back in. She's wearing the C for Team Uhaul. Going one-on-one now against Map of Tasmania and finally gets through, and that's going to be the 4th lead jammer now, status in a row for the skaters in white.
Pepper Pot with a drawback on the Plaid Mafia jammer takes her all the way back.
Team Uhaul having a hard time getting their jammers through that pack, and she is taking a beating right now. Tries to go on the outside. Pepper Pot holding her off again. Now G-Stringer is the last line of defense for Team Uhaul. Goes face-to-face, can only hold it for so long.
Big hit by Smashin Good Time as she smashes through the Map of Tasmania.
And a cut now being called to the Plaid Mafia jammer. This is going to be a second power jam for Team Uhaul, and Smashin Good Time is eating up this track right now. Bursts through the front of the pack, picks up another 5 points.
Yeah, she's already scored 15 on this jam, and she's going back for more as that penalty hasn't started yet because it's only now that the jammer for Plaid Mafia gets into the box.
Wow, Smashin Good Time, smashing through those walls. Again, we mentioned this is a beginner-level game, but in name only. These skaters have a lot of experience combined on that track as we're seeing right now. Smashin Good Time having a fantastic power jam. Takes a few hits from Map of Tasmania, but able to stay up, stay in bounds, picks up 5 more points and calls it off as the Plaid Mafia jammer stands in the penalty box. So this will be a power start for Team Uhaul.
Yeah, that was a 25-point jam there. So currently your score, with about 14 minutes left in the first half, 35 for Team Uhaul. Plaid Mafia yet to get on the board, and we do expect that will change shortly.
Vagina Dentata out there once again to jam for Team Uhaul. Our second jam of the night. So bout is the pivot on this power kill. Nellie McStung with some nice defense, working well with Vigilante and bout, and also Flaming Hips there, trying to hold back a Vagina Dentata who does get through and pick up lead jammer. And jammer for Plaid Mafia is out of the box. That's Badger from Tri-City being dragged back now by
Straight
Bait.
Number 23 in white, wearing the pivot stripe. Straight Bait, known as Vag Lightning, playing for the Divas back in Toronto Roller Derby.
And doing an excellent job here, going one-on-one against Badger. And Badger now, this is her second jam in a row after a spinning time in the box, takes a big hit from Straight Bait and dragged back once again. G-String pulling her back 30 feet now. And another big pickup here for Team Uhaul's Vagina Dentata back around again, sees a line on the inside, sneaks through, gets hit, but stays in bounds. Nice job from bout to get the hit in. Nice offense from Vigilante, opens up a line, but Badger still finds one blocker left at the front of that pack. Finally able to get through on her initial pass. But Vagina Dentata is picking up 4 more points and calls it off. 53-0. Oh, points still being put on the board. 55-0. 7 minutes in.
And with that, Coach Naylor from Team Plaid Mafia calling a timeout to try to reset and find some legs for her team. Coach Naylor, of course, also known as Francesca Fiore, plays for the Gorgor Roller Girls in Toronto Roller Derby.
And also one of the bench coaches for the Toronto Men's Roller Derby as well. So she does have some experience.
She does indeed.
On the bench. Team being brought in, as we mentioned, this is the 6th annual Clam Slam. The first one was held back in 2009 at George Bell Arena on the west end of the city. Pretty far west from here. But this is an event that has endured, been affiliated with the Clam Slam for the whole time of its existence. There's a big event actually going on right now tonight. At the same time that this one's going on, there's a mass wedding at Casa Loma. I think if you've heard about that. 120 couples, most from countries where same-sex marriage is still illegal, are currently getting married as we speak. Yeah. Casa Loma.
Casa Loma is a heck of a venue to have a wedding. And they do have the space there for that many couples, I'm sure. We've got officials from all over here as well. I mean, fairly local, but our jam refs for this bout, we've got Penalty Fox, also known as Harrison Ford, along with Parking Lot from Toronto Roller Derby.
All right, Plaid Mafia's got to try and get on the board here. 7 minutes in. I know it's all for fun, but no one wants to get shut out. 55-0 is the score. Sleeper hold. The jammer from the Toronto Roller Derby's Death Track Dolls is out there looking to pick up the first lead jam of the game, and she does for the Plaid Mafia. Whatever they talked about at that timeout seemed to work.
Well, Sleeper Hold's been having a tremendous first season in Toronto Roller Derby, jamming for the Death Track Dolls. She's been a call-up for the Bay Street Bruisers, the B team from Toronto Roller Derby this year. And she's just getting a lot of experience. And she's got a really tall figure, and she manages to stay upright. It's not always easy to do for somebody who's got that build. And Sleeper right now is on a power jam as the Team Uhaul jammer Betty Boom has been issued a track cut, and now she's trying to find the box because the box isn't where a lot of people are used to. The box, like I said here, is at turn 3. So Sleeper Hold has been scoring already for Plaid Mafia. She's got 10. She's going back for more.
Big pickup now finally for Plaid Mafia getting on the board, and not only are they on the board, but they're exploding right now. 15 points for Sleeper Hold on this jam. There's still a minute to go. As you mentioned, the jammer Betty Boom from Team Uhaul took her time getting to the penalty box, so that extended this power jam, and Sleeper Hold with another pass. That's 20 points.
Yeah, she's getting some great help from her blockers, too. We've got Miss Andry up there.
Exterminator back on the track now, but as a blocker this time, also providing some nice offense. And I believe that's Tits 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 with the pivot stripe. She skates as Slaughterhouse Streeter for the Tri-City Roller Girls.
Yeah. Well, I was in Tri-City a couple of weeks ago when Bleeding Heartland was in for a doubleheader, for a travel team doubleheader, and Slaughterhouse Streeter was, of course, skating as Slaughterhouse Streeter that night, so wasn't giggling nearly as much as I am this evening.
All right, so Plaid Mafia finally getting on the board and doing so in a big way, almost cutting that lead in half. 55-20 now is the score. Back out there to jam for Team Uhaul as they try to get this game back under control is number 9mm M.I Gay, and she is your lead jammer, so Uhaul able to get things back under control again, and it looks like it's going to be a power jam as well. Yeah,
Mashes to Ashes picked up a track cut, and she's on her way to the box right now for the Plaid Mafia.
M.I Gay through picking up 5 points, so Uhaul pushing back after that 20-point pickup for the Plaid Mafia. Nice setup from Team Uhaul. Oh, but nice defense there from Map of Tasmania to drag M.I Gay all the way back. She's quickly through, though, and pushing now against Gabige and Jaxalotopus at the front of that pack. Heavy defense here from the Plaid Mafia trying to limit the damage in this power jam. It looks like they've killed it off totally. Oh, but legal procedure re-entry. Very nice job by Smashin Good Time, who leapt in just behind the jammer. Smashin Good Time off to a hot start in this game. The captain for Team Uhaul. Fairly new skater with Hammer City Roller Girls, but obviously has come a long way very quickly.
Yeah, it's been exciting to see Hammer City rebuild as they have and moving back up the rankings of the WFTDA.
Currently in D2, but Smashin Good Time being sent to the penalty box for destroying the pack. She made a nice little offensive move to kind of fool the pack, but destroy the pack in the process.
Well, and a nice little twirl move there, too. It's M.I.A. Just completely fakes out both Jaxalotopus and Cunning Linguist. Comes around the outside now, nice another 5-point scoring pass.
You know, I remember it was last year, was the opening game of last year's Clam Slam, was taken over by a couple Hammer City skaters too. Homewreck and Holly and Wax Poetic made big impacts last year in this very game, and we're seeing it again now with M.I Gay and Smashin Good Time. 78-20 now, 9 minutes to go in the opening half of this opening game, the 6th annual Clam Slam, a World Pride event here at Ted Reeve Arena. Team Uhaul in white under control, and it is not Vag Lightning, but Straight Bait is your jammer now for Team Uhaul, and she's out against Nellie McStung.
Well, timeout being called. Parking lot was actually still conferring some points with the scorers table, and looks like they hadn't realized that he was out of commission, so they're going to do a restart on that jam. They might put a couple seconds back on the clock. Samiracle is the jam timer for this bout, and if you haven't already heard the news, Samiracle is the new head referee for Toronto Roller Derby.
Oh, nice. Congratulations to Samiracle.
Yep, Samir's doing some great work with ToRD. He's been part of the derby scene in Toronto for a few years, and so we're pretty excited that he's going to take the lead for the coming season. Of course, we're still in the course of this season. Our season in Toronto Roller Derby started in January. Home team championships are not going to be until October. Nellie McStung, number 73 from Nickel City, picks up lead jammer for Plaid Mafia. And now we're starting to see a bit more intensity. Straight Bait, the other jammer for Team Uhaul, completes her initial pass. She's got some catching up to do.
And Nellie McStung looked for an outside pass, got hit hard, though, forced to the outside, forced to call it off. Only able to pick up 2 points. In that jam, Nellie McStung, this is her second year playing in the Clam Slam, coming all the way down from Sudbury. And it looks like 1 in the box each, so it'll be 3 threes in the pack for this next jam. I don't think that Uhaul got the message that they have a skater in the penalty box. They've got 4 skaters on the line to get things started here. So one too many skater on the and Guilo Fosho is calling a skater off the track. Yep. Lead jammer, though, very quickly, while all that was happening, goes to the Plaid Mafia. That's the second time in a row. And
Heavy Petter trying to get past Tits. And she almost does, but then she's driven out of bounds on the straightaway, and that's going to allow La Grande Noirceur out. I'm having a really hard time with that.
Noirceur, you had it there.
I thought I had it, and it just slipped away. She's already picked up a Grand Slam, and she's going back for more.
Nice.
Coming up against G-Stringer. Swings around the outside.
Oh, a little late, though, on the call-off, and that allows Heavy Petter to get through, and she's also scoring points. Busts through Sleeper Hold the front, pick up 4 of her own.
Yep.
So the Grande Noirceur, perhaps showing a little bit of inexperience. She's a newer skater for Montreal Roller Derby.
Yeah, Coach Naylor just gave her some instructions, hit the pack and call it, and she's unable to pick up any more points on that final pass, but that was the right move there. Try to get a couple and maybe do a one and done. But Plaid Mafia is starting to get back into it. They're up to 31 points. Team Uhaul at 83.
So Butt going to be out there to jam for the Plaid Mafia, an experienced skater. Has played all over the world in Australia and all over Toronto as well. Has slowly worked her way up now. Plays for the Smoke City Betties and Toronto Roller Derby and the Bay Street Bruisers, their B travel team. She's up against Betty Boom for Team Uhaul. And So Butt quickly cuts through the middle and picks up lead jammer for the Plaid Mafia. Betty Boom able to fight her way through at turn number 2 as well. Finish her initial pass, but a half-pack lead, though, for So Butt as she comes up to a big wall of white at the back, takes the outside line, gets by Pepper Pot, and nice, clean pass for all 4 points, but 2 stolen at the very end by Betty Boom.
Yeah, she just kind of dipsy-doodled her way around the back. I think everybody was watching the action up front. They didn't see her coming, so she picked up 2. Still a 2-point advantage on that jam for the Plaid Mafia. Score differential right now, 50 points, 85-35. About 5.5 minutes left on the period clock. Again, these are 20-minute halves in this bout, as it's what they're calling the beginner/intermediate level.
All right, it's beginner/intermediate. But again, yeah, speaking of experience, Vagilante bursts through that back wall and picks up lead jammer status.
Meanwhile, Vagina Dentata taken out at the back by Exterminator, taken down a couple of times, finally completes that her initial pass. She gets around Scream Queen.
Nice hit from Riot Rhythm, forcing Vagilante inside, but Vagilante quickly gets back up, takes an outside lane, gets through, forced to call it off as G-Stringer was holding her off, and G-Stringer doing a nice job to save her point. 3 picked up for the Plaid Mafia.
That's right. G-Stringer just forced her to pass her out of bounds, so doesn't get that one, but she does get the 3. So again, Plaid Mafia clawing their way back into this. I'm sure they like to see that point differential a little bit smaller before going into halftime.
Smashin good time out there to jam in the white against Nellie McStung, 2 perhaps of the more experienced skaters, maybe. Certainly 2 talented skaters. Let's see what they can do with this. Nellie McStung immediately tries to go to the outside, gets hit by Brickhouse Bardot, but able to bounce off it, picks up lead jammer. But Smashin good time also out about 10 feet back and gaining ground quickly.
Yeah, forces the call off as Nellie McStung gets caught at turn 1, so she decides not to waste any more time. Calls it they're going to do a reset for the next jam, and looks like Plaid Mafia is going to send So Butt back out there on the line once again up against Betty Boom.
I should correct myself. Brickhouse Bardot skating tonight as Commander Box. That's X3 for Team Uhaul. A longtime veteran of the game, played for the GTA Roller Girls, the Rollergettes.
And I believe she may be coming to Toronto Roller Derby soon, too.
Oh. So Butt having a hard time at the back of that pack. Has 1 to beat now at turn number 2 on the inside. Cat the Conqueror trying to bridge that wall, but So Butt is through as lead jammer for the Plaid Mafia.
Yeah, Miss Andre with a nice attempt at a takeout. Just missed her, though. So Betty Boom is still skating. So Butt now trying to direct her skaters up. She wants them to get her some points. She's passing, she's calling. And 2 points stolen by Betty Boom once again. 2 points for the team in white, Team Uhaul. Only 1 comes in for So Butt and Plaid Mafia.
Yeah, So Butt trying to get her pack to move in front of the opposing pack so she could pick up a few points, but they couldn't get it all coordinated. Again, these are 2 all-star teams thrown together for this event, so it's going to take probably a half just to get into the swing of things. And 3 minutes remaining in that first half.
I know some skaters were just coming off the GO train about half an hour before game time, so it's not as though there's a lot of time to go through potential strategies, hand signals, and the like.
That's right. Thursday Night Derby. This is a rare event. Thanks for tuning in. If you are watching on layer9.ca, you just watched Vagilante pick up lead jammer for the Plaid Mafia. And M.I. Gay has picked up a penalty box, a cutting penalty on the inside. A power jam for the Plaid Mafia.
And this is a big opportunity.
Nice offensive sweep from the outside by Exterminator. Opens up a big lane for Vagilante, who picks up 5 points.
Yeah, he picks up a big burst of speed, too. and goes flying through Vagina Dentata, taking her out.
Those two skaters have had quite a battle tonight, Vagina Dentata and Vagilante. Oh, well, she didn't cut. Skating out of bounds, yes. So,
yes, yeah. Penalty Fox corrects that call.
Yeah.
Started to call it a cut, but no, it is a skating out of bounds penalty being issued, and now it's a power jam for Team Uhaul. M.I. Gay, though, has some work to do. This jam will go the full 2 minutes.
M.I. Gay got taken down hard on the outside, dragged all the way back. Now finally gets through, sneaks by Exterminator on the inside.
That was just her initial pass as well, and there's only about 40 seconds left in the jam, so I'll have to see how many points she's able to pick up on this power jam.
Exterminator again holding that inside line. It's tits on the outside with the pivot stripe. Vagilante very quickly back on the track now, hits that back wall, able to burst through. Nice recycling at the front by Riot Rhythm, but not enough to hold back Vagilante, who scores 5 more points as she was on her scoring pass. M.I. Gay being... Oh, I thought she'd been forced into a cut, but Tits is getting the penalty, and she actually picked up an extra minute for engaging after she'd been called. So 2 minutes, or 1 minute, sorry. 2 30-second penalties for the pivot.
M.I. Gay riding the line, stays in bounds on that last pass attempt, does not pick up any more points. So a phenomenal job by Plaid Mafia shutting down Team Uhaul. Only gave up 4 points in that entire jam, including the 30 seconds of power jam that took place. Both teams now have pivots in the box. That's G-Stringer and I believe Tits for Plaid Mafia.
Yeah, I should say at the 10-minute point, it was 55-0 for Team Uhaul. Since that point, it's been 58-36 for the Plaid Mafia. So they really turned things around at that timeout in the first half.
They certainly did. Whatever Coach Naylor had to say, it totally worked.
Commander Box gets out first, and now she's going right shoulder to shoulder with Le Grand Noirceur. Commander Box is the lead jammer, and she's behind. She takes a look at the clock, is going to kill it off. Calls it a nice battle between the Toronto skater and the Montreal skater in that last jam. And I think that's going to take us into halftime.
It is, yeah. I was watching to see because that jam got called about 3 seconds left on the period clock. Nobody calls a timeout, so we will go into a 10-minute halftime here at Ted Reeve Arena. Scoreboard showing 91 for Team Uhaul, 58 for the Plaid Mafia. If you're in the Toronto area and you're watching at home right now and wanting to know what are you going to do later on, the official after party